Hey everybody, so today is going to be my first solo mission, and I'm out here on my 12-foot inflatable, and I'm just hauling on this nice flat ocean. You can see it's going to be a beautiful day, and there's not too much activity on the water right now, and I've got a lot of the ocean to myself. So anyways, enjoy the dives. This is going to be the first dive of the day, and I go straight down, and you can see I'm carrying my little 90 centimeter gun, and just kind of checking it out, warming up my lungs. And you can see that I have my anchor line, and I always go check my anchor line on my first dive. Once I see that it's nice and secure right there, nice and stuck to that rock, pretty much banning the dive. Just look around a little bit more and go back up to the surface. As I get up to the top here, go ahead and look how calm the ocean is right here. It's just a beautiful day. A little bit hazy, but overall great. So next dive, going down again. And look at that visibility as well. It's super clear. I'm seeing about 20-30 foot. Some places I'm seeing up to 40 feet visibility, and it's just a great day. I'm looking for lots of structure. As I go further on into the video, you can see that I'm working my way towards the rocks closer to shore. Find a little cave here, nothing in there, but overall it's just such a great day for diving. I finally start getting to the points where I'm able to see some caves, and here's the first lobster I see of the day. One guy on the right's really small. I try to get behind the guy on the left, but he just shoots straight to the back of the cave, and then I give this guy a little wave as I go up to the surface at the end of my breath hold. It's funny, the commotion that I'm making as at the bottom really attracts a lot of the sheephead, so I'm probably going to start using a lot more scratches and digging into the rocks to start bringing in fish to me. But yeah, here's another really deep cave, and this one I'm really trying to angle my body to get in there as best as I can, and it's really hard to see with the GoPro. In fact, I'm not even looking in the cave, I just trying to feel around. And I'm shoulder deep, and look at that sheephead right there. Pretty good sized female, just hanging out there. And right there is my weight belt. It must have gotten snagged on a rock or two, and right as I'm going up to the surface, it releases itself and falls straight to the bottom. So once I breathe up and calm down, go back down, grab my weight belt, make sure I grab the side with my knife so that my knife doesn't fall off, secure my game bag, and I go back to the surface to re-fight it back onto my body. By the time I fight the weight belt back onto my waist, I'm pretty tired, but I have floated over to this next new spot of reef, and I'm sitting right above some really awesome structure. I'm only in about 15, maybe 20 foot of water max, but you can see it's going to be pretty shallow. Most of the time whenever I am looking for lobster, I'm not going past 30 feet. And the deepest lobster I've ever actually gotten was only at 24 foot and was a night dive. So it's a lot harder during the day. daytime lobsters, they're always back in the bottom of their caves. So you can see the technique that I'm doing is just really shining my lights in every single crack and crevice. I see this little guy right here. I just don't even bother my time with him. And then I spot something. And you can't see him yet, but look at this. It's a nice cabezon. If I had my pull spear, I totally would have taken him. There he goes. But yeah, those guys are venomous, so if you do get poked by them, it's not going to feel the best. Luckily, I don't have the experience personally, and I hope I never do, because I've heard it's pretty painful. Anyways, there's another little guy, and I kind of go for a lazy grab with him, but he shoots back into his cave pretty quickly, and I don't even really bother too much with him. And looking around just for pretty much anything else, but eventually I got to go back up to breathe some more. But yeah, I'm trying to find all of his buddies. You can see there's lots of structure for me to explore and for these guys to hide. So here's a really nice shelf, and there's a small female sheephead right there, but look at all these lobster. Most of these guys are really small, and I go for the biggest one right here on the edge. And you can even tell that this guy, he's small, but he was probably just legal. But I completely mess it up, and he flicks out of my hand, doing those power crunches straight out. And I try to go for one of his buddies right here, but they all start. My GoPro actually really blocked me that time, and I'm already at the end of my breath hold limit, and I just got to go back up. Especially since I was alone this time, I couldn't push it. Definitely don't push it if you're going alone. I don't recommend going alone, and it's actually pretty unsafe that I did, but you know, I really was itching for a dive. So I'm trying to shoo these guys out of their cave, and it's just not working. These guys aren't budging, and they're just too far deep in that underneath that shelf for me to really go for them. So I go ahead, give them a pass, and everybody there was probably pretty happy that their hunkering down was working. So this clip again will show you the difficulties of lobster diving in the daytime. Just look how far back they are in that cave. They look a lot closer in the video, but I promise you that they're about 3 to 4 feet in the cave, and it's just not going to cut it for my arm. I try to reach back there, and it's a lot harder. I actually end up taking my GoPro off eventually and just giving up on trying to get extra footage. I figured I had plenty of attempts on here, and yeah, it was just pretty hard to really do anything with that GoPro on my head. I couldn't get as deep in the cave as I wanted. But yeah, you'll get to see I end up catching one keeper later in the day off camera once I get that GoPro off and I'm able to get deeper into the caves. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and help you guys enjoy the dive as much as I can. So I see these guys right here, and they're definitely too small, so I give them a pass, but then I see their buddy. And their buddy right here, he looks like a good size. And you can see he just smacks me in the face with pure disrespect, and he is gone. And I'm again at the end of my breath hold, and there was no chance of me finding him. Pretty much once they flick away, they're going to be pretty hard to find unless you're in a less kelpy area. But again, you're not going to really find them in less kelpy areas either. Here's another shelf to check out. And I peek around this corner, see this guy right here, and I really go for him because he's a pretty good size one. But I just get a hold of his front, and then he slips my grip, and he's gone. These guys are so hard to get in the day. It's nothing like the night dive that I had, where it was just like plucking them off the reef. And in under an hour, we had caught 4, and by then we were already tired from that day, so we didn't even try to limit out that night in that previous video. But yeah, you can see right here, there's another one right there, and then he was small, so I'm just really trying to cover as much ground as possible, looking for anything that's possibly out. These caves, these little cracks that these guys like to hide in, it's crazy how much further they go back than you would think they do. It's just really hard to grab them. And there's the last lobster of the day that I ended up getting off camera, and he was just legal, but tasted great. I had him later that night and some lobster mac and cheese. And eventually I'm going to have to do a catch and cook for you guys, but this was a really awesome dive. Great day, and overall, nothing to complain about. Can't complain about a day of diving at all. If you like videos like this, go ahead and like and subscribe for more.